Your house of cards is coming down, down to the ground, down to the ground, down.
Well, hello there, my imaginary internet friends, and welcome to yet another episode of No Life, No Problem, the web show that refuses to go away, regardless of lack of viewership. I am your host with No Life, Christopher James, alongside my co-host, Sneak the Salamander. Say hi to the people, Sneak. All right. So, here we are in February. February. It's like library, right? You don't say library. Like, hey, it's February and I need to go to the library because I have some books that are overdue. You must be illiterate. Either that or you just don't care. I think it's most commonly said February. I say February. February. Why is that so hard to say on camera? February. So here we are in February, and Punxsutawney Phil, just a couple of weeks ago, came out and saw his shadow in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and that means that we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter. Those of us here in Southern California have 6 more weeks of this. I don't even think we've had a winter. We barely had rain, which isn't a good thing, but if you're an active, outdoorsy type person, this has just been like perfect weather to go hike, or I don't know if you kayak or whatever it is. I mean, going swimming. It's 83 degrees and it's the middle of February, and back east it looks like this. So 6 more weeks of beautiful spring/summer-like winter for Southern California, and possibly 6 more weeks of this kind of shit back east. So strap in, buckle up, do what you gotta do, hunker down. It's going to be cold out there, and just know that you could be here with us. So I wanted to start today by talking about something that bothers me. The one-armed side hug. The one-armed side hug is to a hug what the dead fish handshake is to a good, solid, firm handshake. Really what it is just a fucking cop-out. Like, I want to see some conviction. Commit to an action, commit to a handshake, commit to a hug. I mean, think about just the physical part of hugging somebody like this. You hug somebody one-handed and you're standing side by side, and then how do you get back into a conversation? It's kind of, you turn back, it's kind of awkward. You feel awkward for doing the half hug anyways, and so the conversation should probably just end there and you're like, okay, hey, I'll talk to you later, bye. Feels really weird. When you see somebody and you can actually have an engaging embrace, you can actually engage in a conversation directly after. You say, oh, hi, how you doing? So good to see you. Embrace, appropriate amount of time, let go. And then you're talking to them face to face. And you can say, so how are things? Oh, things are good. How's the family? Oh, the family's good. And it's not awkward. You can hug people. It's okay. You can go anywhere in any other culture. I mean, especially in Europe, hugging is not where it stops. People kiss each other. Sometimes on the mouths. It happens. Why is America so weird like that? My goal when I have an interaction with somebody is not to make them feel awkward. I want to make them feel welcome. I want to make them feel like they're important to me, because that makes someone feel valued. If somebody feels that you're being awkward, that's going to close a lot of doors in a relationship, a professional relationship. I'm not talking about any sort of personal relationship, because I mean, even that's weird. Like, say you go out on a first date and the girl's like, and you're like, hey, and she's like, turns the one-armed side hug. That date's not going to go very well from that point. And it can only go downhill from there, in my opinion. It's hard to recover from awkwardness. I want to open lines of communication. I want to be friendly. I want to foster positive relationships with people at work and in my personal life. People that don't, I feel that they're stunted and they need to work on things. So speaking of stunted and awkward and moving into the just weird, an 84-year-old woman in Tocantins, Brazil. Yeah, I said Tocantins. That's the way to pronounce it in Portuguese. I think we can say Tocantins. I don't know how you Americans say it. Tocantins? Tocantins? No, pronunciation's a weird thing. But an 84-year-old woman in Tocantins, Brazil, went to her doctor complaining of severe stomach pain. They ran some tests on her, and what they found in her abdomen was a calcified fetus. Apparently, this is a pretty rare medical condition called Lithopedion, and what happens is when the fetus dies and it's not expelled from the body starts to cover it in calcium so that the body is not harmed by the dead fetus inside. The woman claims to have been pregnant at the age of 40. What she said was she went to her healer and he gave her a concoction to drink, and she drank it and the baby stopped moving and it stopped growing, and so she thought she was done with it. Little did she know that over time her body was calcifying the fetus, and it didn't really come about until 44 years later. But it gets even weirder because not only did she find out that the dead fetus was inside her and calcified, but she told doctors that she didn't want it to be removed. And I guess maybe when you're 84 years old, any sort of invasive surgery could be a problem, but I don't know how else to rectify or solve a problem where something is where it shouldn't be without going in and removing it. Let's look at this story objectively. A woman gets pregnant when she's 40, goes to a witch doctor, drinks a concoction, she feels a baby die, but nothing really is ever expelled, but she thinks she's okay, it stops growing. And then when it comes around nearly half a century later and she goes to the doctor and finds out that their baby is still in her and it's calcified, and that's what's giving her this ailment, that's what's making her body hurt, she says that she wants the baby to stay where it is and doesn't want it removed. That's pretty weird shit right there. And it's a rare thing, but it happens. I hope it doesn't happen to you. If you ever discover that you have a dead baby inside you, please go have it removed. Use a fucking coat hanger for all I care. Insensitive? I don't know. It's weird altogether. 84 years old and you find a dead baby inside you and you want to keep it. All right, well, it's your baby. At that point, you better name it. I have an interesting thing for the viewers. If you had a dead baby inside you and you weren't going to remove it, what would you name it? What would you name your dead calcified baby fetus? How about Cal? Cal's a good, strong name. So that's gonna bring us to a segment I like to call Why You Suck So Bad at Stuff, Bro. This week's Why You Suck So Bad at Stuff, Bro goes out to this lady who is sitting in the Sochi Olympics arena watching the Russia-Slovenia hockey game. This woman took an accidental selfie. She was trying to take a picture of the action on the ice to take home and cherish forever, to remember that moment that she was at the Sochi Olympics. Granted, she's elderly. Maybe she forgot how. Maybe it was a borrowed camera. She borrowed it from her daughter or her grandson. But this is pretty retarded. You take a look right here at the picture. It's pretty funny. It was discovered and made popular on Twitter this week. Hashtag Sochiselfie. You can actually see her eyeball. She's looking through the lens, trying to, she's saying, "What? It's not working. I can't see anything." You were there. You remember taking that awful picture. It's not the side you look in on the camera. So my question to her is, why you suck so bad at stuff, bro? Now, the Sochi Olympics as a whole has just kind of reminded me of this video, which I'll link below. Trust me, I am engineer. Everything has just been so haphazardly put together. I mean, they had plenty of time. These things, you don't just get notified the year of that you're going to hold an Olympic Games. You get told years in advance, and it just seemed like they weren't ready. I don't know if it was an economic problem. They just didn't have the money to try and put this together. But there's so many stories. The whole infrastructure there is just terrible. It really reminds me of this video. Every time I see anything about Sochi Olympics, I just think, trust me, I am engineer. So from Why You Suck So Bad at Stuff, Bro, that brings us to our other regular segment on the show, our No Life, No Problem Pussy of the Week. And guess what? We have a viewer submission. It's amazing. You put it out there and you ask for something and you get it back. Now, there was only one viewer submission and it is from somebody that I know, but it means that the internet is working and that people can see my show and actually respond by replying to my email at cj.no.life.no.prob@gmail.com. Or to make it even simpler, just get at me on Twitter at CJ No Life. Really simple. If you have some pussies that you'd like to put up there on the internet for the world to see, just post it on my Twitter or send me an email. Do what you gotta do, but send me those pictures. This week, our pussy is squishy. That's right, it's a little squishy pussy. This is Rachel's pussy that she sent in. He was raised from being the runt of the litter to being a happy, healthy squishy, living out his dreams and nightmares. I think that comes with being a runt. He was just small and he's just scared of everything. But he loves hair ties and he loves to chase them down and he loves to hunt the lasers. But he's super cute. He's healthy. He's the runt that lived. So we're going to say goodbye to Squishy, and I'm going to say goodbye to you, but not without asking you first to please share the show. The whole purpose of this is to get out there and reach as many people as possible because I think that it's fun stuff to talk about, and I want to talk about it with you. So please share this on Facebook, retweet it on Twitter, tell your friends about it. I don't know, whatever you got to do, word of mouth or electronic word of mouth, that's all good for the show. If you have questions or you have comments, like, you hate me, you hate my stupid mustache, you hate everything about the show, it's offensive, and you don't ever want to watch it again, cool, just tell me. I would love to hear it. If you have a Pussy of the Week you'd like to submit, I'd like to see that. If you have ideas for what we can talk about on the show, guess what? I am wide open. I come up with just new things every week, just based on what I want to talk about. But if you out there want to see me talk about something, then please suggest it. We're here, well, to please ourselves mostly, and that's just the narcissist in me. But we're here to please everybody else on the internet as well. Now, not like please everybody on the internet, but you get the idea. So, show your friends, and we'll do this again next time. Until then, you can get the fuck out of my room. Bye.
Your house of cards is coming down, down to the ground, down to the ground, down.